Hello from the Music Interview Corner. Today with the Hellfreaks with Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hey everyone. Hi.
How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. Everything is cool. Everything is fine. How are you doing?
Good, very good. I have many exciting questions about your new album, for example.
Cool. Give me some.
So Pitch Black Sunset is gonna come out on April 14th. Do you have a favorite song on Pitch Black Sunset?
I have no, the answer is no for that because all the songs are, for us they're not that new because we started the writing process like 2 years ago, but it's still new for us. So right now everything is so exciting about the new songs. And so I wouldn't say there is a favorite, but there is one that is very special for me because it's I would say that is the song where I was the most involved in the writing process. And that song is Weeping Willow. So that is a special one for me. But I wouldn't say that this is the favorite. It's just at a special place in my heart, that one.
And what was the inspiration for Weeping Willow?
Well, Weeping Willow is, actually it's a very dark song, like especially compared to what we are doing normally. It's I would say the darkest song we ever did. And it's about mental health, but basically it's about depression, and it's about the cycle of depression, if I can say that. So it's about those very dark thoughts that you have and how it feels to have that kind of weight on your shoulder or on yourself or on everything that you are, because it feels like a weight, and how it kind of can be like a cycle that it comes and goes. So it's about mental health.
And you wrote the song during the pandemic and the lockdowns, right?
Well, I don't know exactly when I was writing the song, but the whole album was written during COVID, and of course, I don't know, in the last 2 years were so crazy, or even 3 years now are so crazy, because we had COVID, because we have a war just in our neighborhood, and also now it's like we have a very crazy inflation in our country. Just last month it was over 20%, which is crazy. It means it makes heart so difficult, and I have also very dark humor, so I kind of start laughing about what can be the next obstacle that we have to face and that we have to deal with. But on the other side, it's like, what a time to be alive, to see all that in just a few years.
Yeah, true. I wonder if they would, like, in 20 years from now, interview people like us who lived witnesses of that time, like historic documentaries or something.
Actually, I'm so sure about it that people like the next generations will ask, how was COVID? And I think they will think that it's much more interesting than it was.
Yeah, like the same way maybe like we ask our grandparents about the World War or something.
I don't think that we can compare these two things, but it's definitely something that I think it's hard to imagine if you're not in it.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's very brave of you to write about mental health. I think it's a very important topic, especially since so many people have been going to mental health problems, especially in challenging times like these.
Yes, actually, that's true.
How was the recording process in general for Pitch Black Sunset?
I would say that we tried a lot of different ways for the recordings in the last 14 years, in the last 14 years. But I think the best way for recording was when we recorded our last album, God on the Run, because that was the moment that we could do a lot of things by ourselves. Just for example, I have a very small flat. It's really not big, but we could make a little corner in my own flat, a little singing booth where I can record my final vocals, and it counts a lot. And our bass player, Gobby, he is doing a lot in the recording. Actually, he's recording all the stuff. He is doing most of the instrumental parts, not only the bass. He is doing the pre-production. He is right now pretty good at mixing. He's doing a lot before we gave the final recordings over to those who do the final mix and the master. But we worked with the same people like we did for God on the Run, because that was where we felt like, okay, now that's where we belong, and these are the people that we would like to surround us. So I wouldn't say that it changed a lot. What changed is that now our guitarist Josie was way more involved than for God on the Run, and so there are a lot of ideas that came from his head, which I'm very happy about. But actually, that's the only thing that changed. I think we have built a really good structure in the past, and I don't want to change it. I think it's great. I love to record my vocals at home, and for me, that's like the best scenario.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of freedom. Like you can do it whenever you feel. Like you don't have to pay a studio and things like that.
Yes, and it's especially when it comes to the vocals, it's so much about the emotional part. So it's like, even though your skills don't really change from one day to the other. Your skills change by a lot of work and by a lot of time, but they don't change by one day to the other. But it's time to time, it's like you're just not in that mood, and doesn't matter how hard you try, it's just getting worse and worse. And the good thing is that here we can say, even if I have done, I don't know, the 100th take, and if I say, okay, no, we just stop it and we'll do it tomorrow, then no problem, we will do it the next day. There is no pressure. And because there is no pressure, I can also experiment. I can also try a lot of things. So it's very revealing feeling to be able to do that. I really cannot imagine to go into a studio anymore and record my vocals there, because it would be so different now.
Yeah, it's such a luxury that you can do it on your own terms.
Yes. And it was something that I was dreaming about for so long, because, we are a rock band, so the vocals are normally quite loud, and now they're also quite aggressive. So it's not possible to practice, for example, in this room, because my neighbors would get crazy, or they would think that there is some monster in the room. So it's not possible to do that. And back then, like some years ago, before I had this vocal booth, I had to go to the rehearsal room, which is of course not like around the corner. It's always like, or at least here in Budapest, all the rehearsal rooms are quite outside of the town. So as we know, I also had to plan that, okay, now I need the time to go there. I need to make maybe a reservation, or I have to talk with the other bands if the room is free, and then I could do some practice. But it was impossible to do it really on a regular basis. It's just not manageable. And since I have my own little room, actually this room was I always forgot what the English word for it is, but this room was the place where normally people store their food. It's not the fridge, but it's
I know the German word for it, but I also don't know the English word for it. Honestly, it's like, is it like a food storage room, pantry, something like that?
I think it's pantry.
Yeah, pantry sounds good.
I think pantry sounds good. Yeah. So it was years ago, the pantry, and it's not big. It's like 2 square meters or something like that, but it's just perfect to do that. So we made it soundproof, and we have all the proper microphones in that little room, and I love it.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. On February 9th, you released the 3rd single of your album.
Yeah.
Chaos. How were the reactions so far?
It is, to be honest, it was very unexpected for me. We are used to that whenever we release a song, especially on Napalm Records YouTube channel, it's a huge audience there, And of course, there are also a lot of, I would say, like old school metalheads, and we're not the music for old school metalheads. I know that. So whenever we release a song, I know that there are going to be maybe some not that nice comments, but on the other side, we're going to reach so many new people, and it's worth it, and it's great. And it's always like, it's always an adventure, like, okay, how are they going to react? And for Hit Me Where It Hurts, which was the 2nd single, I couldn't believe that so many positive comments, really almost no, or just a very few negative comments. So I was like, okay, wow, cool, that's amazing. Like I did not count with that. And then we came to Chaos. And, Chaos is for me, I like to talk about it as a hardcore song because I think it's a hardcore song. It's short. It's about really the hardcore attitude, and it's a lot of shouting. And yeah, it's like a Hellfreaks hardcore song. And I thought that this is something that the audience is like more familiar with. And no, it's crazy how polarized people reacted, for example, to the guitar solo. I really love the guitar solos that Josie is playing because I love them because they are different, and I appreciate everything that is different because I really don't like copycats, and I'm really like, if I like, let's say, I don't know, whatever band, if I like whatever big band, I don't like bands that sound similar to that big band. I like bands that do different things. So that's why I love, for example, the guitar solos of Josie, because whenever he's playing that, I would, even if it would be the first time that he's playing that, I would know that this is his guitar solo. And I think this is like the biggest value that you can reach as a musician, that you have such a trademark sound and trademark ideas. And I was surprised that not everyone is feeling like that, that a lot of people find it strange. But at all, the reaction is great. And we got a lot of great feedback, a lot of messages, how much they love the song. And so I'm very happy about how it turned out. But I was just surprised that it's Chaos, the one which is more polarizing people than, for example, Hit Me Where It Hurts. So you never know how people react, but that's fine. That's part of the business.
Yeah, I think the song has a great energy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I also read a really funny comment. It was a very positive comment. The person really liked the song, and I think they wrote this song was originally 5 minutes long and they did it in 2 minutes because it's also so fast and it has this amazing energy. And I think it was a great way to describe that.
Yeah, I mean, we also we have longer songs. So actually, normally our songs are quite long for that genre what we're playing, because they are always like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, which is quite long for the genre that we are doing. This is the shortest song I think that we ever recorded. So yeah, but I understand that comment and I find it funny.
And how was the video shoot for the Chaos video?
The video shoot itself, it was like I would say like the easiest video shoot that you can imagine, because we didn't wanted to do a storyline for that. We didn't wanted to do anything. Actually, we just wanted to have a cool image video. And the good part of the whole video recording was that the video production team who made this is the one from our guitarist before Josie joined the band. So actually it's Tommy, who was part of the Hellfreaks from 2015 to 2018, I think. I never know that. I think 18 or 19. So he's a very good friend of us. And we're still like, even after he left the band, we had a really good contact. And I'm so happy that he started to do videos. And also in the past, we did 2 acoustic songs with the band, and both acoustic videos were recorded by Tommy. And this is like the first song that is I would say like a loud song, it's not instrumental, it's loud. And we asked him if he would be into doing something and figuring it out. And he said yes. And I'm like super happy that we could do it with someone who actually belongs to the Hellfreaks, He's a good friend. He's like a Freak member. So I was very happy about that part.
Yeah, it sounds great, because then he really gets what you're doing when he was in the past.
Yeah, and he knows us and he knows what we like and what we don't like. So it's so easygoing.
I don't know if that's true, but I have heard that you and the other band members live together as flatmates. Is that true?
Well, half. Actually, I live together with our bass player because he's my husband. So we live together,
that makes sense. Of course.
That makes sense. Yeah. But it's just the 2 of us. But the other 2 guys, luckily we live in the same city, because that could be also an issue. But they are living in the other side of the city, because we live in Buda and they live in Pest, which is the other side of Danube. But it's still the same city. But we always do the rehearsals in the house of our guitar player, Josie, because he could do this in this house. So it's let's say that's always our meeting point.
And how is it for you as the only girl to be on tour with three guys?
I don't know how it could be with girls. I mean, since the Hellfreaks is part of my life since 14 years. So that's a lot. That's my whole life, literally. Like, I was a very young adult or almost a teenager when we started to make this band. And unfortunately, I had a lot of different bandmates, but they were all guys. So I don't know how it would be with girls. So for me, that's normal.
Did you also grow up with brothers, or do you have any sisters?
No, I have an older sister, but I don't know. We are extremely different, very different, and I don't know. We never had this hanging out together or being together thing with my sister, because there are more than 4 years in between us. So, when we were kids, she was a teenager when I was still a kid. And then when I was a teenager, she was already a young adult. So the difference between us was always quite big. And we never had really this time, like, I don't know. As I said, we didn't really hang out together. So I cannot compare the band life with my sister's connection. It's so different in everything.
And how did you and your bandmates back then meet and decide to start a band?
As I said, unfortunately, the guys who I am surrounded with right now are not the guys that we formed the band with. So it was very, very different circumstances. I was, I don't know, 19, 20, something like this. I had another band where I played drums. And it wasn't a good band, but it was fun to do. It was a hobby band. It was a cool thing to start doing any kind of band. And back then in that band, we also had a girl as a singer, and I really loved her voice. But for her, it was also the very first band in her life. And from the beginning on, I really liked to write the lyrics, even though I wasn't a singer, but I like to write lyrics. I don't know why. It's something that I just enjoy. So I write lyrics for songs and gave it to her. And then time to time she could work with them, and time to time she couldn't work with them. And once we had a song that was absolutely finished, the lyrics were done, and she was just standing there in the rehearsal room and said that she just has no idea what to sing and what melody could fit good to this song. So I was like, okay, give the lyrics to me. I will just try to sing something. And I just did something, and that's the first time when my guitarist heard me, or that guitarist back then heard my voice, my singing voice, and then he said, like, actually, that's not that bad. So maybe we should do something with your voice. And that was how we started the Hellfreaks. Back then, that was a psychobilly band. It was nothing else. It was rockabilly mixed with punk. I would say it like that. Rockabilly mixed with punk. And this was a very small scene here in Hungary, really. A very small scene, and everyone knew everyone. It was so evident, that we are going to pick someone from that scene. So actually, we just teamed up with 2 other guys, and then we started. And then, as I said, we were very young. So it's so easy to start a band when you're young, because your priorities are, like, let's say, everything in your life is so much easier to prioritize when you are young. And then as we got older, we also had issues that somebody couldn't join us, for example, for concerts anymore, because the job was more important, or family was more important, or there were a million of issues. And that's why we had a lot of band member changes. But yeah, since, as I said 2018, since 2018, we are like how we are today. And I couldn't be happier, because these guys are so good musicians. So, when we started, it was really not about the music, it was really just about the scene life and being together and hanging out and doing something, whatever comes. It wasn't really about the music. And then later on, when these guys, the guys now, joined the band, I was terrified, because they were so good on their instruments that I felt like oh my God, I have to I have to get better as a singer. I have to get better. I have to go and find the proper good teachers, and I have to learn new singing techniques. And they motivate me so much that I learned so much in the last years. So I'm very happy how it turned out, but it was a long, long road.
Yeah, but I think your voice is amazing. You have really this power in the voice. I really like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I wanted to ask you, what do you like most about each of your bandmates? And are there things you don't like?
Oh, okay. Well, the bass player is my husband. So
yeah, you can't say too much or your home life is going to be difficult.
No. But of course, it's much more than just the music that connects us. I mean, he's really my best friend at the same time. So we have so much in common, but also we have a lot of differences in common. So, for example, I like highs, and I like skiing, and I like boats, and I like water, and he is definitely the opposite of that.
Oh.
He don't likes anything which is combined with adrenaline, let's say it like that. So okay, then I have Gabi, the good and the bad side. Josie, I like how amazingly creative he is, and how he is someone who can get connected with any type of person. Really, doesn't matter who you are. He is so good in that, and he always finds like the good things in people. Let me think about something that I don't like about him. I know what I don't like about him. I don't like that this guy is never freezing. He is never freezing. Doesn't matter how cold it is. He's standing there with a t-shirt and acting like everything would be normal, while I'm like, I have like a pullover and a jacket, and I look like a potato, and I'm freezing. So this is something that makes me crazy about him.
Maybe he could go skiing with you instead of your husband.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, and then our drummer, Bela, he has a very, very good heart. That's something that I really appreciate. He's really not a selfish person. He's a really good-hearted person. And what I don't like about him is that he has a cat allergy. That's something that it's hard to accept for me, because we have a lot of cats.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, because I saw on Instagram that you presented one of your cats. Yeah. Are they around? If you would like to introduce cats to our viewers, or to me, I'm totally a cat person too.
Okay, I have 4 cats, and it's impossible to show you everyone, but at least there is one here just next to me. I will show you. Okay, just give me a second.
I would love to. Yes, that's the perk about Zoom interviews. I love face-to-face, but Zoom is the perk that you can see cats and dogs.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's the one. Is it Betsy that you showed on Instagram?
Yes.
Hi.
He is actually our, how can I say this? All the other cats are actually street cats. Everything is mixed with everything, but he's the only one who is a blue British short hair cat.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, he's our nice one.
And what was his name?
Bertzi.
Bertzi. Okay. I thought it was Betsy and a girl. I didn't hear it correctly.
No, he's a guy, and actually okay, I think I'm not 100,000,000% sure, but almost. I think that in English it's the name for Bartholomew.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Bertzi. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, hi.
Yeah, hi, sweetie. He's 7 years now. He's our youngest cat.
He's your official announcement cat?
Well, I have, what I try to do is I have, I'll put him back.
Yes.
So what I try to do here is, so far we have released 3 singles from the album: All Tomorrows, Hit Me Where It Hurts, and Chaos. But All Tomorrows was already released in 2021, because we already dropped the song when we could announce that we are signed at Napalm Records. So I thought that actually it means that we have 4 music videos till the album release. So now I'm revealing here some stuff. So we already released 2 videos, so we will have 2 more till the album is out. That's why I thought that for every music video announcement, I will do a little video with one of my cats.
Oh, cool.
So I did the first video with my oldest senior cat, my love of my life, Momo. I did a second video with Betsy. And now it's getting a bit complicated because my other 2 cats are, they are moving all the time. So I don't know how I'm going to do the videos with them, but I definitely want to do the next video with these 2 cats. So actually I'm like announcing the single always with different cat of mine.
That's a great idea because there are so many metalheads and rock fans who love cats and dogs. I think.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. I loved it. I just realized that there are like actually a lot of metalheads who are into cats as well. And I think this is fantastic because good people love cats.
That's true. I even have a t-shirt that says my cat listens to power metal.
Oh, great. Yes. I love it. I have a cat t-shirt which says Lucipur.
Oh, that's so cool. You also have a merch t-shirt with a Hellcat, right? Or like a hellish cat.
Exactly. That's like now our newest t-shirt, which is with a cat, with a Hellcat. I just it's so funny because of course I could see the graphic design earlier than the audience, of course, and I could send it over to my best friends who are also like crazy cat ladies. And everyone is like, oh my God, I need this t-shirt. So I think all of my friends will be with this Hellcat t-shirt. I think that is very cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Maybe I think our time is almost up, but maybe one last question.
Look, no, I don't have any interviews right now. So if you want to ask, we can still do some more.
Cool, we can go a little bit over time.
Yeah.
Good, because we're just having so much fun here talking about cats and music. So what's the craziest thing that you and your bandmates have ever done on tour?
I think a lot of people don't know how difficult it is to go on tour as a band, and how much you often have to sacrifice to go on tour, and how many things you do that you would not do just to go on tour. So I think the craziest thing that we done is sleeping at the craziest places that you can imagine, because especially when you start as a band, you're not getting a hotel room or something like that. You just get a place where you can sleep. And there are some crazy places that we have sleep. So for example, once we slept in a swinger club on the floor of a swinger club. And it smelled disgusting. It was really bad. Or just sleeping in the bar where you played, like on the floor again. Or so once in Czech Republic we had a place which was actually, I don't know how we got there or why they think that this is okay to ask us to sleep there, but it was like, I'm not sure if it wasn't just a place for homeless people. The whole flat, it was so disgusting. Like the mattress where we should, I mean, I don't know if we did, but where we should sleep, it was literally pissed, like with human piss. So yeah, so these things are very crazy that you do this just to go on stage and be able to show your music live. But there are also stories which are super funny. For example, I think one of my favorite stories is we had a festival in northern Germany, and don't ask me the name because I will not remember. But when we were already on the road, we heard the rumor that the festival organizer who's there, he took all the money and just left the whole. Yeah, he left the festival, and that it is very chaotic. But we thought, we are on tour, so we go there anywhere and see what happens. And actually, when we arrived, it turns out that the rumors are true, because that's what happened. So there were a lot of people who knew that they were not getting paid. I mean, people for security or at the bar, or people who should do the stage or do the sound. So people who, of course, should get paid for their work. So some of them also left, but some of them stayed there to rescue what they can rescue for that night. Actually, they were super nice that they stayed there. And then we thought, okay, you know what? We're here. We will do this show. I don't know if anyone will hear anything of the sound. Everything was so unsecure at that moment. But we thought, let's give it a try. I mean, there is nothing left to lose. You know, people were there. They were all extremely drunk. So we thought, okay, let's do this. So I went on the stage, and I don't know. It sounds so weird, but actually it was super funny. I know it sounds weird, but it was funny. Like, and the first row, some guys were so drunk that they started to drop off their clothes. And you know how guys behave when they drunk. They think that's the best idea what the friend is doing. So after 10 minutes, I was standing on a stage in front of a lot of naked men, and it was like, what are we doing here? It's crazy, but it was super. As I said, I know it sounds weird, but it was very funny. I was dying of laughing. So there are stories like that.
I think it's really badass that you still played under these circumstances.
I'm happy that we did this, because it ended up in a great story, and we really had nothing left to lose, and we were on tour, so we could do this back then. Of course, it's a very different situation if something like this would happen, and we knew that, I don't know, we are here in Hungary, but we have to travel 1,000 kilometers. Then you think about it if you really want to take the risk. But we were already in Germany, so we were like, let's go and let's see what happens.
Do you have any message for your fans?
Oh, well, actually, I'm always asking my fans or our fans for the same. I know, and I am super proud of this, that we have fans all around the world, from US to Europe to Australia, everywhere. And I love to talk with my fans. So if they can just get in connection with us, follow us on Instagram and write us. And if they like our song, and if they have any good story, or if they have any thought, whatever the music gives them, if they could share this with us, this means so much to us. It really means the world to us. It's these people are my fuel, literally, and I couldn't do this without them. So every time I'm getting direct feedback, doesn't matter what kind of, it means so much to me. So do this, guys.
Yes, we will put all your Instagram and everything for everyone, all the links.
Perfect.
In the video.
Great. That sounds great.
Yes, then thank you so much for the interview, Sue.
Thank you. It was really great to chat with you.
Yeah, and thank you for introducing me to your cats. That always makes me happy.
If we do this next time, then I will show you another cat.
Yeah, next time we expect all 4 cats lined up all around you.
Yeah,
no, that's a joke, but I know cats.
Yeah, we're just talking about cats. Yeah, I think we just should do an episode when we're just talking about cats and cats' behavior and what. Yeah.
Yeah, some bands do track by track for the album. We can go cat by cat.
Cat by cat, yeah.
Yeah, let's do a cat by cat in the future. Sounds great.
Perfect.
Yeah, then thank you so much and have a nice evening.
Thank you. Take care. And thank you for having me.
Oh, you're
Bye.
so welcome. It was fun. And goodbye from the Music Interview Corner.